right, let's get to another episode of the shit show, the TriMet shit show. I didn't have that many calls. Rippy did most of them, and I skip a lot more than he does. I don't do any route blocked. I don't do any mechanicals. I don't do anything like that. So I was able to get through the calls pretty fast. So we can go on with this nonsense. So let's go.
Please indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. Oh, I'm back on. Aye.
Listen.
Okay. Any opposed? The resolution passes.
Ooh, I would have.
I do apologize. I'm at the TriMet Harrison Square offices today because my internet at home hasn't been working, and so far today my system has crashed twice here.
She's at the headquarters of the leader of technology, folks. And their technology is not working at Harrison Square. God, what a shit show. What a shit show. Nobody cares.
So I think technology is just being totally overused. So
yeah,
I will.
And we've entered a brave new world, and there's no going back now. Man, what a depressing world we have here. It's just, wow. Holy shit. I can't believe what's happening around us. And how many people are being psyoped, and they just fall right into every single psyop. I can't even believe how fucking easy people are to manipulate. Man.
I'll start my video. And Director Bauman, which resolution did we just pass? Was it the
It's 22-02-06? That was the CMGC contract.
Great. So now, thank you so much for stepping in. I should actually provide you with my notes so that if this continues to happen.
I have, Linda, I will say, I have a copy of the script, so I'm ready if you go out.
She has a copy of the script, folks. I told you this was choreographed. This is a choreographed show. There's nothing here. That everything's been decided. That, you know, we're just watching a puppet show basically here. Now I'm interested in it because I'm a TriMet geek, but I mean it's all a scripted show. It's of no value to anybody. I don't know why anybody, even 118 people supposedly watch this. I don't know why they would waste their time, but unless they're a geek like me.
Okay, great. I'm so glad. Thank you. The next resolution is 22-02-07, authorizing a modification to the contract with Northwest Testing, Inc.
All right, a modification to the contract. So here we go again, folks. We want more money. We always have more money. There's never any end to having money for capital projects. But we can't find bus drivers, and we don't have buses at work, and all of our buses are falling apart, and all of our MAX trains are falling apart, but we have all this other shit. But we won't talk about that because nobody cares about that but me. So I think this is the one that they're talking about here, so let's read it. The Powell Garage Replacement Project, project, began in late 2016. When completed, the project will provide a new and larger garage, just what they needed. They're cutting service by 20%, and just what they needed, folks, a new and larger garage, and they've cut their service by 20%, and they're never going to bring it back because they hired Jarrett Walker to reconfigure their system, and we know what he does. He changes systems. He takes away what people had, and he changes it to what the technocracy wants. And they say, oh, we hired this brilliant man. His name is Jarrett Walker. He's the most brilliant man in the history of public transportation. Thousands of people love him and worship him. So it has to be a good change. So this is exactly what TriMet needed, was a new and larger garage, which costs $160 million. Bus electrification and facilities. Yeah, but the electric bus phenomenon does nothing to help people get more service. It's a capital project. It's just another scam on top of a million other scams that we Americans live with every day of our lives. It's just pissing me off. Dramatically increased bus storage, which you don't need, and maintenance capacity. New fuel and wash facilities. Oh boy, yippee-doo. Improved operator accommodations and employee parking. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be lovely for them. To date, the existing garage has been demolished. Yes, we found that out last time. I didn't realize they were going to take the whole thing down. And the completion of the fuel and wash in phase 1 is in use. So they have a fuel and a wash. Yippee for them. Because the project's new garage building will be comprised of structural steel framing, cast-in-place concrete, tilt-up concrete panels, shotcrete, what's shotcrete? Reinforced concrete masonry unit, CMU, concrete slab on grade, concrete slab on deck, steel decking, metal and stud framing, storefront windows, and drop ceilings. The project requires a qualified and knowledgeable materials inspection firm. Yeah, of course, yes, we need an inspection firm. Inspections and testing are required nearly every day of the project. Every fucking day. The project has been delayed by approximately 1 year, and the project's completion date is extended to February of 2023. And as a result, the number of days needed for materials testing has also been extended. In addition, costs associated with required projection inspections in structural steel have also increased due to the pandemic, related materials, production problems, and resulting delays. And now the next excuse of these motherfucking pieces of shit that are running our government is going to be Russia. We don't have a COVID. We got Russia now. And everybody's falling for that. For these reasons, additional funds are needed to conduct the remaining materials inspections from January through October 22 to the end of construction. So how much more do they want here? Okay, well, the modification will increase the total contract from $500 to $800. Oh, so it's a $300,000 modification? Why is this going to the board? It's only $300,000. I thought they could just do that. What are you talking about? By resolution, the board of directors adopt a statement requiring personal obligating to pay more. Maybe this is this a brand new contract or something? Because they're not obligated to even ask if it's under $1 million. And I remember, that's also a lie too, because when they settled my lawsuit, it was $1.6 million. They didn't bring that to the board. And when they asked the board, somebody brought it up to the board. They didn't know what it was. So, I mean, it's criminal operation, folks, okay? Just understand that. It's just like the rest of government. It's a criminal operation, and it exists like every other governmental function to funnel money up. It takes your money from taxes and funnels it up to the elites. And they do that by capital project. That's how it's done. So that's pretty cheap, $800,000. Why? I don't understand why that's before them, because it's not $1 million. I thought you could just sign it away if it's under $1 million.
For material testing and special inspection services, also for the Powell Garage replacement project. Mr. General Manager.
President Simmons and members of the board, the resolution before you also, in regards to the Powell Garage replacement project, requests a contract modification with Northwest Testing, Inc. This is a company that provides inspection service for the specialized materials used for project construction. Some of the activities on the project require daily inspection and testing, and some require constant inspection. Given these very strict inspection guidelines and additional costs associated with and compounded by the pandemic, as well as the historic and impactful weather events we have experienced, the project has been delayed. We must seek additional contract authority to continue these required inspection services through.
And there's always money. Always, doesn't matter what the situation is. Whenever it comes to capital projects, there's always money available for it. I've been watching this shit for 15 years, and there's always money for that. But then they whine at contract time. They whine. They roll out the mainstream media to demonize the union employees. They're getting too many benefits. They're getting too much pay. But then on this hand over here, hundreds of billions of dollars are spent, wasted on these capital projects of questionable value. But this is how we roll in this country. Okay, this is how it works.
Through completion of the project. Now the project is scheduled to open in late September. The modification would increase the contract by $300,000.
Yeah, why is that before
an amount that is within the construction budget for the project. Northwest Testing only bills for time and materials up to the authorized contract amount. With these services being vital to the project's forward progress, I ask for your approval.
Of course they're going to approve it. Why are you bothering?
Thank you, Mr. General Manager. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Value of my account, GP.
Lori Bauman, so moved.
Thank you, Director Bauman. Is there a second?
Director White, second. I think Dr. Lewis got it.
Okay. Thank you, Director Lewis. It's been moved and seconded. Does anyone wish to make a comment before we vote?
Like what?
Seeing no hands, I'm going to go to the question. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Same sign, those opposed. Hearing none, motion carries. Going on to our...
All right, that's enough of that. But let's do one more thing before we go here. Let's listen to this one. Operator gets in a fight. Let's listen to this.
Good afternoon, 7246. I got a problem with the guy who's just trying to pull out of my hands right now. He's hitting on me. We're about to have a physical altercation. Yeah. All right, I'm calling police right now. Hit your silent alarm if you can. Hit your silent alarm.
If it works.
Oh, no. Operator. 7246. Operator is containing the passenger. Alright, tell them we got police on our way. Does anybody need medical? Can you answer that? Does anybody need medical? Alright, police are on the way. 1528. Good evening, 7246 on Killingsworth and 17, headed to Pal Garage. Alright, 7246, it's been determined that you cannot drive, because you left your seat, even though I know they told you you could. So I'm going to have you tie up the bus right there. Is there a safe spot to do so? Yeah, I can pull off to the side here on Killingsworth, just past, I guess, would be 18th or 19th. Okay, I'm going to have you do that, and then I have a couple questions for you while I have you on the line as well. Clearly the phone got ripped out of your hand, and I wasn't able to really find out what was going on. So what exactly happened after? So I heard from the supervisor that this guy was harassing passengers. You asked him to stop, and then he came up and confronted you, and I'm assuming that's when he ripped the phone out of your hand. Kind of what happened from there.
Yeah, let's bring up the barriers again, the barriers that don't work, the useless barriers that they put in there. And they have like 3 barriers that do work, but they're not putting them in. They're like we're testing them. You know, they're lying as usual. They don't do that. We're putting all of our money into this nonsense shit that we're listening to here, but they won't fix the barriers so that they work. See, if they had barriers that worked, we would never be dealing with this, okay? None of these assaults would be happening, people, if they had actual barriers that worked. This problem is solvable. That the question is, why won't they do it? That's criminal behavior itself, is the fact that there is a way to stop operator assaults, and this awful management will not do what it takes to protect operators, nor will they do what it takes to fill their operator ranks. This is a criminal operation on many levels.
Okay, he wasn't arresting passengers. He took a swing with his elbow at one of the passengers in front of him paying her fare, walked past her, and I told him to stop. Told him he had to leave the bus. I told him that firmly a number of times. He began cussing and challenging me to come and fight him of sorts, and told me he was going to kick my ass, and, you know, used all kinds of colorful language. I pressed customer contact on the messages, and in about whatever amount of seconds it was when you called back, he grabbed the cable of the phone to try to pull it out of my hands. I heard you, I guess it was you, say, "I'm calling the police." I was able to tell you I'm being assaulted by a passenger. I don't even remember what I said exactly, but I think I used the word assault. He hit me, knocked my glasses off my head. I didn't even realize that until later. So at that point in time, I let him grab the phone out of my hand. He stepped back into the aisleway, and that's when I got out of my seat. And anyway, I don't remember, to be honest with you, what I did or said other than just stand in the aisleway, but he took another swing at me, and that's when I wrestled him down to the floor.
Okay, well, his problem is going to be he got out of his seat. But I don't, we already heard another situation where an operator literally, physically, he physically threw somebody off the bus. Okay, and he came back to work. So my guess is this guy will come back to work too, but you never know with the TRIMET management. You never know what they're going to do. But we know of another incident where he actually he didn't throw anybody off the bus. He just held them down until the police got there. I'm sure he'll be off for a few days.
And I held his arms down to the floor, and I put my knee on his kind of his chest, abdomen area, and just held him there until the police got there.
I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but whatever.
Okay, all right. So I got that. How are you doing? That was a lot. Are you all right?
Of a sort. I mean, I told the officer I can feel a little pain in my shoulder.
He sounds very calm considering he was just in a fight, doesn't he?
I don't feel anything as yet, but I'm sure that's about adrenaline, and just it's got to calm down, and I'll see how I feel in a little while. But yeah, I had no plans to try to finish the route tonight, and I was only driving the bus back to the garage, but I'm glad to wait here until somebody comes and gets me.
Okay. All right, and are you sure you don't need medical?
I don't think I do, but if I feel different later, I'm going to make sure to include that in my report, which I'm going to take home and fill out tonight because I need my secondary pair of glasses to be able to do that.
Okay. All right, hang tight there. It's going to give me... They kind of threw off my plan when they told me you could drive, so now it's going to be a little bit for me to work up another one.
All right, well, that's too bad that happened, and it's too bad that the management won't get barriers at work, because that would really solve all the problems, folks. That's all that needs to be done. They won't do it. They will not do it. Henry Beasley, let me see if I can find it, H-E... No, I don't know. There he is. Where's... Wait a minute. He tweeted about... Where the hell is it? Here. This is a barrier that works, you see? The only little space is here. So you can't assault the operator. I mean, then there's a ticket machine there. The operator's enclosed. This is what they need. If they had that, they wouldn't have any of these issues, but they won't do it. They will not do what's necessary to stop this problem. And that is really the problem. The problem is a management problem.